A few weeks ago, some of my members from youth ministry and I were eating out at La Soga Taqueria, a Mexican restaurant over on East Parkway, Sacramento. Amazing customer service, by the way. 5 stars, no doubt. So there we were at La Soga, and one of my youth members, Patty, was sharing with the group how much dedication, both physically and mentally, it took to be able to run a marathon. I try to surround myself with bright, determined individuals, and Patty's one of those individuals. So of course, Patty had to back up her claim, so she brought up the movie McFarlane USA. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the movie McFarlane, it's about this group of Latinos who are migrant workers and see no future for themselves other than continue their family's life cycle from working light of day to light of night. Long story short, their coach, Jim White, comes into their lives and introduces them to cross-country running. The overall success that cross-country running brings to them causes them not to only attend college, but to pursue a career. I began to recall the time that I was 5 years of age, and there I was in the fields of Michoacán, Tecocario, holding up my first picked strawberry. And in that moment in time, I was settled with the idea that this was a life destined for me. My grandparents did it, my parents did it, generations before them did it, and now it was my turn. My biological dad hasn't been in my life for the past 12 years, but I thank him. If it wasn't for his abusive drug addict behavior, my mother would not have divorced him and taken us with her to California. This divorce wasn't just between my mother and father. This divorce was also between my past life and myself. I was breaking free from the family cycle. Throughout elementary school, I struggled with every subject from math to history. I recall in first grade when my peers were using laptops, and I was thinking to myself, what are these machines? The latest technology that I had at that time was a Game Boy. That was my laptop. The idea of AVID was first introduced to me in 6th grade. Recruiters came to my elementary school talking about AVID and asking us who would like to join and apply. I neglected the opportunity to join the program. I didn't feel that I was worthy or capable of being in such a program. Boy, was I wrong. Along came 8th grade year. Ms. Herzig came up to me and said to me, "Kid, how are you not an AVID? You are doing very good academically wise, and I see so much potential in you." Thank you, Ms. Herzig. You saw something in me that I was too blind to see for myself. You showed me the road less traveled, and I left the one most traveled in order to pursue that one. Throughout high school, AVID was my safe zone. AVID provided me with a second mom, a mother that cared about my future and my success. She didn't give up on me, not even when I gave up on myself. Thank you, Ms. Peoples. You made me view the world from a different perspective. No longer do I see a predator trying to calm me down to failure. I now see a prey waiting to get conquered. AVID didn't just provide another mother. It provided a family-like environment. This family kept each other on check because we couldn't ruin mother's reputation. We all had to get accepted to a 4-year university, no questions asked. So, how did AVID get us all to a 4-year university? Was it the access to rigorous courses? Was it the constant corner notes, tutorials, and collaborative study groups? Or was it the extra tutoring and help? Or was it the 150 plus hours of community service that we did? Those who are unfamiliar with AVID, like I was once, would say that AVID is just full of students that are already organized and academically ready for college. I would have agreed with this statement back in 6th grade, but here's the reality. AVID isn't in search of Albert Einsteins. AVID is in search of kids who are looking for a better tomorrow. Kids who are saying, I'm not liking my current position in life, and I want a positive change. I'm tired of sleeping on dirt, and I want to sleep on a mattress. I'm tired of getting breadcrumbs like a bird. I want a meal. I'm hungry. Thing is, I don't know what to do. I know I want to change, but I don't know where to start. Luckily, AVID found me. It said, Augustine, here's the first step you have to take in order to get off the ground, and the second step soon follow the first, and then the third, and so on. If ever I felt like it could no longer go up the steps, AVID would be there for me with moral support in the form of my AVID family saying, hey, Augustine, we are here for you. Can you see how close we are? Think about what's to come and fear what will happen if you go back. AVID took a migrant worker who didn't know how to read in any language, didn't know any math, didn't even know how to write his own name. Now this migrant worker is bilingual, able to speak, write, and read in both English and Spanish. This migrant worker didn't know any math, but has gone on to take AP Stats and Calculus. This migrant worker is going to attend a four-year university, not because he is smart, not because of note-taking or priority registration. This migrant worker is going to a four-year university because he said no to a life full of struggle and suffrage and found himself a role model, someone to show him the way. AVID was my role model. AVID was my second mom. AVID was my friend that told me that school came before anything else. AVID was there when I needed direction. AVID got me to where I am today. AVID is a group of people showing the next generation that are lost where to go. I am Agustin Guerrero Ramires, and AVID is me.